What's the secret to great classroom management? Well, it starts with you, teachers. It's time to know thyself.
Thyself?
Myself, Socrates, something like that.
Socrates?
Socrates. Combined, John and I have been teaching for over 20 years, and we have seen a lot of great teachers teach, and we've seen a lot of teachers struggle. And there's been one common theme that we have noticed among teachers who seem to do it with ease each and every day. And that is the teachers who are great also know themselves really, really well.
Teaching, even though it is one of the best professions out there, it is a profession that can consume your entire life if you let it. You can't do that though. You're not helping anyone if you let that happen.
And what's important is that you have a good work-life balance. And that starts with understanding who you are as a person, what your likes are outside of school. Both John and I are very fortunate. John is an amazing musician, and that is probably one of the most important things in your life.
It's true, music is the mistress.
It's the mistress. And before I became a teacher, I was in industry. I worked as a designer, as a lawyer for a long, long time before I became a teacher. And teaching to me was a secondary thing. It was a place for me to go and help get out everything that I learned in my life and to share it with young individuals. And it was something that I just fell in love with from practically day one.
Wait, so hear me out. It's like it wasn't your life, but it was a job?
It was a job, exactly. And I was very clear in almost all of my teaching positions. When the end of the school day came, when the end of that contract day came, I got up and left. During the contract day, I always worked really, really hard. And during my planning periods and prep periods, whatever else I always got, I did my work, I did my grading, I did what I had to do. But at the end of the day, I left and I went home to all the other interests that I have in my life, which are a lot. So I would encourage you, learn more about yourself, learn about your own passions.
With the work-life balance, the self-care and getting to enjoy some of your different passions and hobbies is a big deal because you get to bring that joy back into the classroom. If you aren't taking very good care of yourself and you're a dreary rain cloud, you also bring that back into the classroom.
So what you're saying is a happy, positive person outside the classroom is a happy, positive teacher inside the classroom?
I think you're oversimplifying. No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're saying. And what you need to do is be that happy person, and what you need to ask yourself is if there's something in your life causing you to be that rainy, dreary rain cloud, you need to address it. And it shouldn't be addressed in the classroom. What you need to do is take some time outside of the classroom and deal with it.
If you're enjoying the content, feel free to throw us a like, maybe even a subscription.
That would be so awesome.
Man, subscription.
One of the things that John and I talk about in our Let It Go program is the importance of dealing with problems, whether they're temporary or they're long-term problems. And it's not something that you should be doing all day throughout your day. It should be something where you take a specific amount of time and deal with those problems to resolve them outside of school. You shouldn't be bringing those into the classroom.
Kids have other stuff that they need to worry about. They don't want to worry about your BS.
Exactly. They're kids. They have tons of problems they're dealing with. We have no idea what their home life is like. We have no idea what their money life is like, how they struggle in different classes. They shouldn't have to hear about your struggles at home. So find time at home to deal with them, and find time to get that cloud that might be over your head moved on somewhere else and find that happiness. Let's face it, we all became teachers for some big goal and big reason. We have it all inside of us, this calling. We need to find that happy place in our lives, know who we are as a person, and then bring that into the classroom and share it a little bit. I think it's through sharing that outside person, that fun, engaging, and passion person who has a bunch of interests, sharing that with your students helps you establish great classroom management, great rapport with your students, and makes you human to your students.
I know, isn't that weird, the idea that your teacher is more than a teacher?
Exactly. What we would love to hear is how many teachers in your school are bringing in that positive, great energy every day and using it to engage our students.
See, I'm more on the negative side. Tell me in the comments, let me know some teachers that are doing a bad job and what that looks like. I think that's something that these teachers maybe don't recognize, is that they don't know that they're not taking good care of themselves until it's a little late. You know, all of a sudden years pass and you're like, oh, I'm in an unhappy marriage. I don't see my kids.
My kids don't like me. It's tough. And I think one of the difficult balances to keep is that we're teachers teaching other people's children. So it's very, very important to maintain that work-life balance and to make sure you have that proper attention at home, and you also give the proper attention at high school or whatever school you're working in, but to keep that separated. And for a lot of teachers, that's really tough. John and I are currently developing a professional development course around this very subject, how teachers can better know thyself so they can have better classroom management. So as this new school year begins, think about how you can bring your authentic best self into the classroom.
Best self equals best, or your favorite, bestest classroom management.
He hates the bestest. Till next time.
Take care of the three and be your best self.